Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real Football Talk, and we're back to after international break. Everyone took a break as well at the same time. Yeah, what can I say? Adil is very busy man. So is Cam, as you see, he's not here. It's very hard and difficult for me to arrange these two, you see, and get them off their busy life, to dedicate some time to the Real Football Talk. But yeah, welcome back, Adil. Welcome back after a long break.
That's very difficult indeed when you're the busiest person out of all.
We know that's not true because the one consistent in this podcast is me.
Hardly.
I mean, I'm sure those of you who follow see my face every week. So
That's because the amount of adjustments we make for your
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh
schedule.
yeah, oh yeah.
So
But
you are
yeah,
you're certainly the most important member. That's why.
I am not important at all. No, you guys bring all the juice. I'm just a facilitator. Let's just say I'm just a facilitator. But yeah, great to have the Premier League back. Fantastic start again. I mean, obviously, loads of goals, loads of drama. Yeah, just hate international break. So just glad the Premier League is back. But I mean, and back with some very big games. I mean, you had the Merseyside derby, you had the London derby with Chelsea, Arsenal, and then also the game Man City versus Brighton. So big games to start off with. But let's start at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Poch versus Arteta, who obviously met each other at PSG. Very complimentary about each other during the press conference, etc. But it was Chelsea who dominated the game. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I was quite surprised with the bromance between them two. Didn't actually know beforehand, so that is definitely that was something new. But yeah, I thought Arsenal were very fortunate to get a draw, and again shows they've got that winning title mentality because they certainly that would have felt like a win after being behind in the game. I mean, that was second best for even up until they scored. I couldn't
Personally,
really
they were
say.
second best until about 75 minutes, if I'm
Yeah,
being honest.
5 minutes. I mean, they scored the two goals, but even then, I didn't ever feel they were really dominating. Only difference was they started to
Great chances.
get a bit more. Again, the create. I mean, other than the two goals, tell me one chance they created. I actually can't remember. I was
Well,
watching.
Nketiah had one straight after the second goal.
I can't even remember that. Say true.
Okay, but yeah,
Then,
Nketiah had one straight after it where
oh no, yeah,
Sanchez
that
went.
one. I'm talking about up until that point.
No. That's what I meant. Until 75 minutes, it was all Chelsea.
Oh
That's what
yeah, I mean, that Nketiah one was after two
2-2. Yeah,
take the lead, and obviously Chelsea's a bit disorientated for letting a two-goal lead, but in open play, I could not see anything that Arsenal were doing that's going to create. Even the first goal, fortuitous, they didn't create that. That's the thing. Second goal was the only chance they created in the whole game, other than the Nketiah ball over the top. Um, and yeah, that was it. But Chelsea, a really positive performance. They're gonna, regret missing those gilt-edged chances. I mean, Sterling had a Palmer should have put the game to bed when he rounded Raya.
yeah, he
In
should have.
Backstead should have done a lot better with his chance, but trying to round Raya when he shared
I think on that one it took too long. He took too long. He was indecisive, and
but,
that's what cost him.
but you look at both of them. I mean, you could square the ball. Even Palmer's one.
Yeah,
Two players around him, square the ball. Uh, so I mean, they had every opportunity to make it 3-0 and put the game completely to bed. And mistakes, and that's the thing. I mean, this Chelsea team has been playing really well, and they're not getting the results they probably feel like they deserve. And a lot of that is down to leadership. They lack leadership. For all the good work they did, they were definitely the more physical team. They had the better tactics. They
100%.
nullified Arsenal. They had the right balance between pressing and then dropping off and shielding. they were highly impressive, and
Yeah, agreed. I couldn't disagree with you. I thought their midfield was very smart. They marked Odegaard and Declan Rice out of the game, and put Conor Gallagher on Jorginho, and Jorginho just couldn't get off him. And I personally, I don't know. When I looked at the lineup, even then I felt that Jorginho is not right for that game. Particularly from my perspective, I thought Partey should have started because Chelsea's main focal point is that midfield, is that engine. So you need to dominate that midfield for us to get anything. And it proved to be the case.
well, yeah, I mean, let's go into the details of the game. I mean, uh, everyone kind of who's watched the game will know that Arsenal fortress to get that result, and it shows immense mentality and self belief to hang in there because at times it did feel like they were on the ropes.
No,
So
they
in the
were.
second half, I
They
mean,
were. They weren't at the game. Let's be honest. They weren't at the game. That was one of those games they were just not at it.
and the thing is, whatever Arsenal were doing, it felt like Chelsea would, had an answer for it. And then I don't know if the changes helped Chelsea. They obviously helped Arsenal, but definitely, I mean, there's for me when I was watching it while watching the game. This is before Chelsea was scored. There were huge frustrations and question marks I had before the game started. I was surprised they going to two defensive midfielders and bringing Jorginho in, even if they brought Partey in. I was a bit surprised by that. Personally, I was thinking, well, they're giving this Chelsea team a lot of respect, and they haven't shown that. Like they've shown like they're a team that's going for the title. They believe they can win wherever they. So that was one indication that I was thinking, ooh, they're not going to be at the fluid self because they're kind of going taking the defensive option in midfield. And then the second thing was why Jorginho, when he always seems to struggle
Yeah.
against teams that press, especially that midfield. You know, Caicedo and Conor Gallagher are going to be anywhere. They were lucky Enzo Fernandez was non-existent in the game. My personal opinion, Fernandez was the poorest Chelsea player on the pitch. Literally hid the whole game. But Arsenal had many more who hid. And that first half, I was shocked at how poor Odegaard was on the ball. The amount of times he got the ball in the 10 position, and it was like watching Bruno Fernandes on his birthday. He's playing two balls that aren't even there. He's playing balls that there is no runs being made. And it was strange. I haven't seen him be that poor in his link up play or understanding of. He's quite safe with the possession. So I was really surprised how often when they did manage to maneuver the ball into the 10 position, how wasteful he was with it, with aim, and every single one went straight to the goalkeeper. And you're thinking, wow, that is frustrating because you're getting dominating. When you get into a promising pocket, a player of his caliber shouldn't feel rushed to play a ball where there is no run being made.
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised by that. We both know Jorginho looked off the pace like crazy. That was just strange.
Yeah, I didn't agree. I personally, I mean, I rather would have had Declan Rice in that six. If you're not going to play Partey, maybe he's not fit. Whatever the reason is, right? You play Declan Rice in the six. You play Havertz on the eight, like you've been doing. Why change it so much? I get it. The previous game they won against Man City, but these are two different teams that played differently.
And I think definitely the comeback and the speed of the play and the amount of forward balls coming in once Declan Rice went into that position, the amount of risks he's taken in the six, the battle he was doing with Conor Gallagher and whoever else, showed you brought Declan Rice for a reason, not to turn him into an eight. You get it? He's one of the best in the country in the six.
I don't know if you realize even when they were pressing him, because of his physicality, he was able to ride those tackles, and then all of a sudden now Chelsea look out of place because of him beating that press that Jorginho could never do.
The main thing, he was looking to beat the press and looking to always play forward. There were so many times where there was a simple forward pass, and Jorginho was taking 4 or 5 extra touches to the point where he loses the angle for the forward pass, and then he goes square. And then another, I mean, Zinchenko was out of his depth the whole game.
I mean, I don't even want to get started.
Sterling
The
had a
amount of
field
people
day.
I've called out in my Arsenal fan groups here about Zinchenko, yeah, they all atted me. Every single one of them gunned me for weeks, saying, "Oh, Zinchenko's this, Zinchenko's changed that whole." But look now, and everyone's coming out now saying, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I agree with you."
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think he's a terrible
No,
player.
he's not terrible, but
Definitely better on the ball than off the ball. He's brave. He's but defensively, he's always been suspect.
every time Sterling got the ball against Zinchenko, he was ripping him. He was completely out of it. He
Yes,
was getting bullied. It wasn't even the fact that the guy's running him. The guy's face backwards, and even then he's spinning him. I'm like,
it was,
do something. What are you doing? What's the purpose?
but the worst thing is, it wasn't just Sterling. It was Gusto who was dealing with him. I was like, nah, I was like, take him off in the first half. When Gusto is gliding past, you just get off the pitch, man. Like the right back is finishing you off, and you're meant to be a winger by trade originally, and now you're getting done by
He's
right.
he's too busy with the political news and about Ukraine and crying on the media and everything else. That's what he's busy with. He's not about the game.
Maybe I mean we said it last year. He's obviously more on the pitch for his leadership than being a standout, player. But again, I've gone through two. I had three of them. I've got two more that I've got a big issue with. But this one, I have to give credit to. I actually felt Arsenal came back. He completely changed his performance, but not because of. Yeah, I mean he performed better, but that was a big tactical mistake from Pochettino, which was Ben White. That first half, he was terrible. He
Mm.
looked so out of depth. I couldn't believe it. Every ball long, the out ball Chelsea had was long ball hitting uh, Ben White. He couldn't bring the ball down. He couldn't header it to a teammate. There's so many teammates around. Is either going out for a throw or straight into Conor Gallagher. And I
Mm.
was like, you were centre back by trade. How can you be that bad at headering a ball? And he literally was giving the whole game possession back to Chelsea. So that was shocking. But I felt that last 15 minutes, he was one of the key difference makers. Like I said, the chance for Nketiah, a couple of the other chances he got live. But that was only after the change. He basically had the freedom of that side,
Mm.
which was poor from Pochettino. The other player that just frustrated me from the minute I watched him play till the time he got subbed off, I'm sure you can guess, is Gabriel Jesus. What on earth is he on the pitch for, man? He was more interested in battling with Thiago Silva than he was playing the game. He wants to be a rugby player on the pitch.
Mm.
Like you're there to score goals, man. He's more interested trying to be physical. Like if Arsenal wanted a physical striker, they would have got one. They would have got Calvert
But
Lewin.
but with that, do you know what I was surprised? Like you got to understand. Like Gabriel has to understand. Jesus has to understand that you're not gonna win a physical battle with Thiago Silva. Where you're gonna hurt him is when you run in behind him. And the one time he done that, he got Thiago Silva booked. But I've never seen him do it apart from that any time.
Yeah, he looks confused to me. He doesn't look a threat. He's dropping into midfield. He's trying to battle with the midfielders. I mean, the amount of running battles he's having Saicedo as well. It's like, I get it. You want to be physical. I get you want to be a leader, but you got but I don't understand if you got players like Declan Rice in your team now, and he's shown he can handle the physical stuff. He can give it. He can play that game. Why do you need Gabriel Jesus coming into midfield doing the dirty work?
Yeah, 100%.
So it was strange. It was strange. And then the
But
last
do you know, like I don't know about you. You
criticize,
probably think otherwise, but I just think every single player was just completely off at that game. I don't know. Maybe it's a
other
it's
than
a
Martinelli,
yeah. Other than Martinez, yeah, no, I agree. I'm
Declan
just
Rice.
saying, as in overall, if you look at, I just think whether it's a hangover from the Man City game, whether they're just gonna walk onto that pitch and win, or whether it's the international, whatever it is, they weren't at it. And I think we got away with one. But I mean, credit to them because they fought back and got the point. Because it could have easily been 3-0, 4-0 to Chelsea.
Yeah. But obviously the main thing is we break down why.
Yeah, of course.
And I genuinely think uh, Arsenal and the way Arteta have got them playing this year, which let's be honest, they don't look like creating much anyway. They
No.
don't win position, they do win the ball back well. The creativity's gone down a little bit, and maybe that's a confidence issue, or maybe they're just trying to do that thing of time themselves, that Man City thing of just play safe, eke out the results, and then hit form.
At the right time.
I don't know, but I genuinely felt they got bamboozled by Pochettino's tactics. And because they're set up so much and they've been winning so much based on tactical tweaks and tactical this and that, marginal gains here and there, tweaking this player here and this person's positioning is very tactical the way they've been winning.
Mm,
They got outfoxed by Pochettino.
they did.
Papa playing in the false nine, Sterling on the right. It's everything that they didn't prepare for.
Expect, yeah, it's something that
Wow.
they,
And it just shows how much the team is reliant on the prep and the tacticalness of Arteta right now, rather than having a formula that and a system and a
but do
rhythm.
you know the other thing also, obviously, and you can maybe see why, because obviously Saka is not fully fit. I think he's been rushed back, obviously, to play this game. Martinelli's just come back. So a lot of the frontline players are just coming back from injury. So I think obviously that confidence and that form or the sharpness is still not there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it, putting it out there. Gabriel Jesus looked like Firmino for me when he was off form. Sorry. And the abuse Firmino is getting. If this continues for Gabriel Jesus, I expect the same.
Don't
Look,
worry.
that
Don't
was
worry.
such a defensive striker. Like he's these Brazilian strikers are honoring the tradition of the defensive striker. A new position created by Firmino.
Firmino.
And now it
Don't
looks
worry,
like
don't worry, don't worry. Jesus will come back. Jesus will
confident
come
build.
back. He just needs a
Yeah,
goal.
obviously it's tongue in cheek. We do expect a player of his quality to start banging in the goals. I'm sure he'll get his confidence going, but yeah, just got to call out when it happens.
Yeah, but I mean, would you say it's 2 points drop for Chelsea and Pochettino, considering the position they put themselves in and the game that played, how superb they were?
Definitely, it's definitely 2 points gained. I mean, 1 point gained by Arsenal.
Yeah.
That probably more because you get that outplayed, outmuscled, and you come away with a point. It feels like a win. They would have celebrated that, and and the fact is, the changes, the subs, they contribute to that. So definitely, that's just gonna build the belief and the thingy, the self belief within the team. Chelsea highlights their problem, which is what we saw. They got a young team. They lack an organizer. They lack a leader. That cross came in. Everyone just was watching.
Yeah.
Sanchez. How many times will you have a leader on the pitch saying, "Clear that up the pitch"? Because there's a lack of leadership, he's trying to be too cute with the pass. And that's the thing. They really do. And I've thought that quite a few. I think we mentioned it in previous podcasts that you can see the lack of leadership. Like they got players who give it now. They got physical players. Saicedo will dive in on tackles so well. So in that element, when it comes to battling, they got a few more players that are physically, up for the challenge. And you saw that. I mean, Arsenal started that first 5 minutes trying to be physical. They got out muscled. They got out muscled. No doubt about it. They're trying to play physical with Chelsea, and Chelsea just gave it back to them more. They done it in packs. And I thought they're physically the more impressive team. So they lack leaders, lack an organizer. It's a bit strange when you have Thiago Silva, but he's not the captain, is he? So
No.
and you feel like
It's funny though. The second goal happened after. I think the second goal happened after the Reece James came on, the new captain.
Yeah, and the strange thing, they didn't run over and give him the armband. They kept it with Gallagher. I didn't notice it. They said he didn't.
Gallagher was the captain, yeah, during the game.
But they didn't give it straight away. And yeah, again, puzzling decisions by Pochettino. Bringing her right back on the right. Yeah, we know Reece James is good, attacking, but he actually offered nothing in that game. I only remembered him touching the ball once. He offered nothing defensively or as an attacking to wrestle back a bit of momentum in the game. So
Yeah.
they really, could have easily
Quick,
gone into a wing
quick,
back system.
quick one before we move on. The Raya situation. It seems like the last four games where he's been very shaky, either given away a goal or made a mistake that led towards a goal. Even this game, obviously the Mudryk cross, he was too far out. What do you make of that whole situation? Is it Raya still in or Raya out? Ramsdale in? What do you make of it?
I think we all know that it's going to be Raya in because we know Arteta is stubborn. It's not based on Raya is bringing other qualities to
Mm,
the team. That is what Arteta is valuing, which is the calmness, the communication, the slightly more leadership. We all think Aaron Ramsey is a leader because he's vocal and he celebrates and he's passionate, but he's not really the type to organize. Like you can tell Raya has got the. You see the way he organizes doing the set pieces. So I think it's all of that is what's going to keep Raya in there. You can tell he's the number two. He's definitely better on the feet,
yeah.
but he has
Yeah,
problems.
the
That
number backs all of that up. I do. When I looked at, I done some research, and the numbers back every single one. They
that
both
both,
had the same gains, but all the numbers back everything up in terms of riots.
yeah. I mean the Modric goal. I mean, where is he? He's going on like the
No,
striker getting to a goal.
yeah, yeah,
That front post like that. That's 100% his fault.
yeah, yeah. Agreed.
This kick like that should never end up in the goal. Um, you know, we have to say, even he's very fortunate on a couple of other occasions. And while they keep getting the results, let's be honest, he's gonna stay there. It's only time when Arteta will be kind of forced to make a decision is when it actually costs them more.
Mm,
The like being down against Chelsea, a dominant Chelsea team coming back and drawing, kind of takes the pressure off Raya.
yeah.
More than it would have if they had lost
If
that,
they had lost, it'd have been worse.
would have been made the scapegoat.
Mm.
So I think yeah, that situation is going to continue.
It's,
Um,
it's going to be one for the press to question every single game, isn't it? And the camera to pan towards Ramsdale every time Raya makes a mistake or a save. But yeah,
but
interesting.
you're going to see Ramsey being the ever cheerful cheerleader.
You gotta love him. You gotta love him, though, innit? Like the
Well, this way, I was thinking during the game, I'm sure Bowley would have minded tapping him up for next season.
well, he couldn't have because obviously Ramsdale.
He's at home.
Congratulations to him. He had a baby, so he wasn't available for that game. Arteta gave him the time off. So yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations to Ramsdale.
they would have liked to have.
Yeah.
Bowley, I'm sure would have liked to have had the
I
opportunity.
mean,
But
Bowley, I mean, I'll put it out there. Obviously, he likes listening to the gossip column, etc. So, yeah, I mean, 100 million will do it. I'm not asking for much. We could ask for more, but because we have such a brilliant relationship, 100 million will do. But let's move on, Adio. Let's move on to the other game, the Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton. 2-0, sending off. What did you make of it?
um, yeah, it was a quality game, if I'll be honest. But Everton impressed me. I felt they were really quite comfortable for large spells in the game. Coming back, from international break, being an early kickoff, you can see Liverpool weren't at their fluid best. It didn't feel like a Merseyside derby.
Mm.
It really did. I felt like the referee uh, kind of spoiled the flow of the game a lot. It was
What do you reckon because of how he was giving the um, fouls to Liverpool and rather than obviously being a bit more lenient to Liverpool rather than Everton?
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly, even before the controversial decisions or double standards, in some of the decision making, um, a lot of decisions were going Liverpool's way. It just spoiled the flow of the game, I felt, because it's a derby. You want to see tackles, you want to see things flying, and that's you can tell that's what Everton were trying to bring, and then you had a really fussy ref that was giving everything. But and the thing was, the problem was, whenever Liverpool did anything cynical, similarly, um, they either no caution or sometimes even a free kick wasn't even given. It was play
But
on.
do
So
do
it was inconsistent. You can feel it while watching the game.
do you think this is related to obviously what's happened that and just of the Tottenham game? Do you think that the referees are being a bit more reluctant in obviously going against any decision for Liverpool?
No, I think it's the Anfield effect. I think one of the decisions he literally waited, and then once the whole crowd basically went up in arms about it, then he suddenly pulls the whistle and gives the free kick, and it's like this referee's reacted off the crowd a lot, and that's what I felt like during the whole game. Um, and yeah, definitely all the key decisions went Liverpool's way. I can't say any of them were completely wrong, other than the Konate one, which is if you're going to be harsh for if you're going to be harsh with Ashley Young, then you have to do the same because it's similar scenarios. It's counter-attacking opportunities. It's cynical
Oh, you're
fouling.
saying you should Kanata should have got another yellow card and sent off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't think definitely Ashley Young's first one was a bit harsh because he slipped.
Mhm.
Even at that moment in the game, it never felt like it was one of those games where that tackle warranted a yellow card because he slipped. The
Mhm.
second one, I do think, was a yellow card.
Second one is a yellow card, yeah. Agreed.
That was clear cut. The guy was in the box about to cross the ball. That's clear cut for me. The first one I felt was harsh. Um, but the problem with the second yellow card was he took his time. He gave the free kick. He was not given the second yellow. And then he's talking, he's taking his time, he's going to the player, and then suddenly it's like he's been told, yeah, that should be a second. So that's the bit that made it look a bit uh,
Weird.
weird. Yeah, made probably, it seem a bit like is this systematic? Is this so I didn't like that. If he had just pulled out the yellow card, sent off,
Bam.
I don't think it would have raised as many questions because it was a clear yellow card offense. But then so is Konate's. But again, the second one, you could say um, you can be lenient. You can, the referee could and did obviously choose not to. But once you set that bar, you have to be consistent.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
Coming to the other decision, penalty for you. The Michael Keane.
again, harsh, but in today's thing, I mean, I don't. That's the thing I don't understand is it's consistent with this season and last season, so we can't really
Yeah,
say that.
if your hands out, obviously, yeah, and it hits you.
Yeah, so
Because I mean the law is very obviously open to interpretation is what I'll say. Obviously, if it's in an unnatural position now, unnatural to everybody will be different. So
yeah, especially if you're whether you're jumping backwards,
yeah,
forward, sideways, I will slightly adjust according to that. But I think yeah, but it's one of those games. It just felt like the referee was gonna, the game was gonna get opened up to a penalty. I was thinking that while I was watching the game, the only thing missing from this ref is to give Liverpool a penalty, and that kind of also sums up the game. That Liverpool just want their cutting edge, usual self.
no,
They really look a threat. You have to give credit to Everton. There were parts of that game where they looked really comfortable. They looked good. Onana really impressed me during the whole game. So I think yeah, Everton look like they're in a good place, and they were definitely up for the fight and the
no.
match. Physically, they're putting their tackles in. I thought they impressed me, but I did feel like the referee uh, had a big impact on the result.
But I mean, at the end of the day, Liverpool got the job done. I mean, 2-0.
Yeah,
Salah scores another one. I mean, clinical as ever. on the counter. Brilliant run from Darwin Núñez and plays it off to Salah, and Salah finishes. And when
And
the
then
chances are given to them, they take it away every time. They're very clinical, and this is the Liverpool team this year, where they've got a chance. Any whisper of the goal, boom, it's a goal.
you can't outplay every team, and
Exactly.
it is a derby. After international break, lunchtime kickoff,
Yeah.
they did what they had to do. They got the result.
Just about the result, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, ultimately it comes down to Calvert Lewin had the chance of the game at the first half, the first attack. I thought it was a really poor header straight back to Alisson, just
Mhm.
literally, But uh, like you said, when Liverpool get a chance, they put it away.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
Slightly more cutting edge is the difference right now.
Yeah, I mean, puts them right in the mix. Obviously, we're going to talk about Man City coming up. 20, everything is back to 1 point again. I mean, obviously, Spurs could playing on Monday can go 2 points clear at the top of the table. Never thought I would say that, but yeah, I mean, opens it right up again. Well, I mean, it was all still open, but I'm just saying in terms of obviously the race, it's almost like 4 teams in it now.
Yeah, and it will stay like that. I just while De Bruyne and you know Man City are struggling with getting players back and fit. Grealish is just coming back now. I can't see anyone running away with it. Again, it's going to come down to December, where it seems like that's when City kick into gear, and if anyone can keep up with them, then it's going to stay competitive. Last year, Arsenal were able to. So let's see. It's definitely a stronger
I
league.
love it. I love it, to be honest. We want more teams in there. Going into January, you want
Well,
more in there. For
I think you may get your wish because you missed out Newcastle, but they're absolutely on fire and
they are, but we'll speak about it a bit further down the line because
they had a real tough start. So I think even they're not far off. I think they're just three,
they're
4 points
still
off.
5 points off Arsenal and Man City and four off Liverpool.
And they've had quite a few of the big teams. Some of these teams still got to pay each other,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so they got a chance to also get into that mix. So let's see. I
Mhm.
mean, they're impressive at the moment too. So
Well, yeah, we'll talk about them a bit further down the line. But talking of the other team within this conversation, Man City, coming back international break, 2-1 win against Brighton. I mean, quick fire goals in the first 20 odd minutes. What do you make of it?
I think Alvarez's first goal took the sail out of Brighton's wind, and Brighton were terrible first half. I mean, it was like a training match for Man City for most of that first half. Uh,
Hmm.
Brighton lacked any belief. They didn't seem bothered. It just was such a casual game.
Do you reckon that goal just completely deflated them, or any hope or chance that?
I think anyone who's watched Brighton this year, um, they're not as complete. But you look at the personnel; it's not as good as what they had.
No.
So they're winning through bravery, not necessarily because they complete the better team. They have spells where they blitz you, and once they get their rhythm going, they're hard to stop. They're definitely a momentum team, but if you have them on the back foot, they do struggle to wrestle back control in the game.
Mm.
It feels like they need that constant tweaking, and from De Zerbi to get them back onto a strong footing, and that's what happened. Once they got in at halftime, De Zerbi done his slight positional
That's his
tweak.
magic, yeah.
Yeah, really told them what they need to, and then they get into that rhythm. It was a
But you know
really
what? You know what? Is obviously it finished 2-1, but I mean Mitoma before it was 2-1. I think it had 2-1. Had a brilliant opportunity where Addison came out almost to the edge of his box and he just hit it straight at the keeper. Not Addison, Ortega came out at the edge of the box. A brilliant chance and he just completely fluffed it.
yeah. I think what it was is when watching the game, the first half, it felt like Foden was running the show. He was everywhere. He's literally played a free role, enjoying himself, dribbling at everyone. He was the one making things happen. And then second half, you have to give credit. Mitoma took the game by the scruff of the neck. He was the one single-handedly dragged Brighton back into it. He went on a couple of amazing runs, went past 4 or 5 players. They were quite cynical in taking him out, but he kept coming, and that's what really gave Brighton that lift and that belief. And that's when you know a player is a serious level, is when they can take a game by the scruff of the neck and really cause problems to an excellent Man City team. And Rodri could not get close to him. So, and probably the most informed player in the Prem until he got suspended. Brighton were really positive second half. They lack, a cutting edge. Evan Ferguson seems like really fatigued and tired, and he came on. They were unlucky with injuries. Solly March, Welbeck in the first half. So I think they're down to the bare bones, but again, their bravery is impressive. That first half was as worst as I've seen them play for a while, and then that second half, they were the better team. Maybe just lacking the final pass, but they had loads of promising opportunities where they had Man City all over the place.
What I
And
mean,
yeah,
one more player I wanted to mention. Obviously, we didn't have a chance because of everything that's going on. To mention Ansu Fati, obviously gets on the score sheet, but what do you make of his Brighton start so far this season? Lot of the bench, but
I think it's been underwhelming, to say the truth. I don't think he's actually the number 10 position suits him. I never thought it did, even when he wanted to go more central while he was at Barcelona. But what do you do? I mean, he is uh, very similar in style to Matoma in the way he glides past players, similar moves. But Matoma is ahead of him rightly on form. So I think his best position is off the left. But you got Matoma there. He's playing in the 10. He hasn't really convinced me, but he's getting goals. He's picking. He's picking. He's picking up those loose balls. The other goal he scored the other day, open
yeah,
goal.
another tap in.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I think he smells where the ball's going. That's a sign of a player with good anticipation and perceptions. But yeah, he hasn't really impressed me. If I'll be honest with you, bit underwhelming. I'm still expecting more from someone who is considered one of the best young players.
coming through. Yeah.
So yeah, I think he needs a bit of time. Premiership is tough.
Yeah, and I think it's good also what Deserve is doing, right? Because obviously he's slowly putting him in. He's not just putting him in there straight away. He's giving him game time through substitution. So I think he's obviously slowly, because the intensity is completely different compared to any other league.
Yeah, and he's not known or renowned for uh physically always being in the best shape. So at Barcelona there was always accusations around that side of it. So definitely it's the right approach. But yeah, he's picking up goals, picking up minutes, and that quality will shine too at some point. Just hope he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on obviously to the next game. Sheffield versus Manchester United. A very dull game, I must say. I was very bored. I had to use multi-screen to watch something else at the same time to keep my
The
Islam.
rugby, yeah. Is it
Not,
the
not,
rugby
not,
or
not
the
rugby, UFC.
UFC?
But yeah, it was a very dull game. What did you make of it?
Um, yeah, I thought Sheffield United started well. Um, and yeah, United kind of took the lead against the run of play when it's they were starting to get back into it by then. Um, and then second half a lot of possession. They were the better team. It's not easy to create chances against a team where
Oh, blocked, yeah.
everything is dropping. And you can't say Sheffield United defended badly. I mean, I watched their games earlier on in the season. A couple of them against Man City, they were unlucky. I
Mm.
was really impressed against them.
Against Tottenham as well.
You know, they're a good team. You know, their brand of football, um, you know, it works for a counter attack. You know, but this game it felt like it was inevitable because they were giving so much respect to United. They're dropping so deep, and you could tell physically they just did not look good. I tell you what, for me, the most impressive player on the pitch was the defender Taffy. I mean, he looked really impressive to me.
Mm.
He looks like he's definitely a find that Sheffield United. I think they brought him off Arsenal, is it?
Oh, Trusty.
Yeah, so
Trusty.
they're saying, yeah, Trusty,
Toughy.
sorry.
When he said Toughy,
Sorry.
I was
Yeah,
trying to think. I was trying
Trusty.
to think. Did you mix Duffy with someone else?
No. Yeah. I thought he was really impressive. He looked really good, physically imposing, really fast. There's a couple of occasions
Yeah, I
where
mean he was brilliant for I think he was Birmingham last season, and obviously this season they bought him off Arsenal, I think for 7 point something million.
I think that's money well spent. I actually think he's got a lot of upsides. His potential, like just seeing a lot of his positioning. It's the small things, the way he was tracking the runs of Highland and the way he was covering Rashford. He looks like a player who has got a levels above him, and yeah, I was really impressed by him. But yeah, what a goal from Dallo, and you know they kind of need it because they're struggling
Keeper
to.
should have done still better though, innit? Considering he got a hand to it, I thought he should
I
have.
don't know. I think it's harsh because he got his fingertip to it. You know, like sometimes it's not. You know, just cause what if he just missed it, everyone would say what a great goal. Just because he managed to
No,
get
but considering the amount of hand he got to it, I thought he should have pushed away. A stronger hand
a
takes it away.
central, I think is a tough. I think it's a tough one.
Mm.
Uh, I'm not sure he actually got that much hand. I think he got fingertips. Yeah, he got a lot of fingertip to it, but you know, that's not easy to push out when it's slightly gone past you. The shot. Yeah, and he's not the most biggest keeper, so yeah, and certainly he done some good saves, you know, during the game from Hoyland, and you know, Fodrington had done well during the whole season. I think he's been one of their best players. He's a
Mm.
very good keeper. So yeah, unlucky maybe. I don't know. I think just because he got fingertip doesn't necessarily mean it's a keeper mistake. That was a good shot right into the corner.
Yep.
He took it early. He took it, just got out of his feet and took it. You know, it did allow the keeper to set
Mm.
himself back. Yeah, you know,
Before obviously we finish off with Manchester United, etc. Let's just quickly, because obviously we don't give enough time to Sheffield. Sheffield United obviously on 1 point, drawn one game, lost the rest. Minus 17, considering a lot of goals. They are in most of the games when they obviously against the opposition, like you said, against the big teams when they're playing on the counter attack. Do they have what it takes to stay up this season? Obviously, considering who they played, how they played, do they have enough in their team?
no, because if they had stuck to what we had seen in that first 15 minutes, where they're really up and at it and they're really going for it,
Mm.
like they did against United, I would say yes. But they dropped off and showed like so much lack of ambition. You're at home, you're playing a team that's struggling, um, and you're competing um, equally with them quite easily.
Yeah.
Why drop off and then allow United to build up and do that slow tempo and let Maguire fire all these long balls down the channels and the
Man
front?
of the match, Maguire. Do man of the match, Maguire, right?
I mean, yeah, and it shows where United are. And don't get me wrong, he played well, he defended well, yeah, but it's that championship type of football, you know. It's Sheffield United going long to get up the pitch. It's perfect for Maguire to win all those headers.
Yeah, he'll win. He'll lead them up.
But you tell me any top four team where the defenders get man of the match because they've played 14 accurate long balls from defense. What kind of football is that? I mean,
Listen,
but
give
it
the
just
brother
shows
some
that
confidence.
United.
He needs them, man. Everyone guns it. Give him some
Well,
confidence.
I'm not going Maguire. I'm going Man United. Maguire deserved man of the match. They were very good passes. Some of them were very good, accurate long range passes. You know, Alonso, Xabi Alonso-esque. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the
Well, listen, I can't mention Xabi Alonso. Slaven-esque, all right, yeah.
had to try. Had to try. Come on. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it says a lot about the football United are playing, where they relied on Maguire to ping the ball left and right, and he done it well. But where is the midfield? Where is the creative? Where is Bruno Fernandes in the 10? There's so much in the attacking play that is just, they don't have no X factor.
There is nothing for Hoyland to.
And that's the funny thing is,
you got this striker who's a predator in the box, but you're not giving him a sniff.
and the worst thing is, I genuinely believe that the subs that come on that always make the difference, like Garnacho, even Martial, because he starts moving in the pockets and moving people out of the play. If Hoyland is on the pitch, he's scoring tap-ins because they're creating tap-in opportunities. But Hoyland's off the pitch, and there's literally no one in the box because Martial is everywhere but the box. And you just think, you know what? Drop Rashford, start Garnacho, and you'll start seeing some goals.
You can't drop your stars, can you?
The thing is, Hoyland's goals have come when players like Garnacho and them have been on the pitch.
But so that's what I was going to say. Is that the problem? It is the big problem with United at the moment is the fact that their superstar players aren't performing.
They are the problem. They take every time Rashford got on the ball, he took 6-7 touches. Even a simple one too. It's like he can't do it. He has to make it about him. He has to take 5-6 touches and then go across the pitch because he doesn't want to play 1-2, even if there's a clear overlap. Fernandes, exact same thing, has to take 5-6 touches because he wants to play a ridiculous ping rather than just keep it flowing. And when Eriksen comes on, when Garnacho comes on, the tempo just picks up because it's just simple 1-2 touch.
They're moving the ball.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. Martial is rotating, everyone's rotating. Suddenly you're shifting the position. There's a bit more intricacy in the play. You're playing within the central zone, around the danger area. And if that don't happen, if it's Rashford on the pitch, Fernandes on the pitch, it's just get the ball out wide, hold the ball, go across the other way, eventually lose it.
Look at the positive. I mean, two on the bounce. Obviously, you need to build confidence considering what was happening. So you have to look at the upside, right? 2 on the bounce. They can build on it. There's something to build on. A bit more hope, a bit more confidence given to the team.
I don't know. Let's be honest. They're playing against Sheffield United, who are the worst team in the Prem. Showed zero ambition.
Trying to give a positive outlay for our United fans, obviously, but
struggled. There's nothing to give positive about. They struggled against the lowest team, the least ambitious team in the league. Definitely, there's question marks and pressure on the manager because he doesn't believe at home that he could beat Man United, which should have been there. Looking at the first 15 minutes, so there's nothing really to be positive about because next game nothing's going to change. Rashford will start. Fernandes will take hundreds of touches, and
that's what I was gonna say. Do you know who your next game is?
Against City. But you know what? United's that type of team where
I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
When they're on a poor run of form and they play City, they suddenly end up with the result. So let's see. But nothing's gonna change. I think that's the problem.
I hope you are right. I hope you are right.
Same lineup, same players, same issues. The styling gonna change. I don't know what they do in the weeks between games because I haven't seen any template of what they're trying to do in terms of the football. It just feels like put the players together, let them decide. A lot of individualism. There's no real template to the way we attack.
I mean, one thing, it takes another win takes a bit of pressure off of Ten Hag, so it gives him time to do something with it because obviously of the number of also injuries.
Ten Hag is fortunate he's these teams. He's playing Nottingham Forest. He's playing, Sheffield United. If it was Aston Villa, if it was some of those teams in mid-table that's going for it a bit, I got a feeling they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Luton will give him a good game.
Well, I mean, let me just have a look at their fixtures coming up because they go what? So they got
I think after City, they got good games.
yeah, Man City, then they got Fulham, Luton, Everton. Yeah, they got decent runs, so
Let's see.
should be okay. Should be okay for them. Before we wrap up, our beloved Luton 2-2 draw at Forest. What did you make of it? Can we stay up?
Obviously, they're competing, so they always got a chance, and they're improving. So I don't think Luton is a team. It's not like Sheffield United. You could say until they change their mind. If they stick to their mind, they're 100% going down because that belief ain't there in the squad or from the manager. Luton, you cannot say that because they are improving every week. They are competing every week. They are signing intelligent players. They are signing good technical players. Townsend, excellent signing.
Brilliant signing, by the way, Townsend.
Yeah, got the assist for the goal. So I think they're making a go of it, and as long as they're making a go of it, they should believe, and everyone else should have completely ruled them out. The question mark still comes down to the brand of football. I'm not sure that style of football will get enough goals in the Premier League. And let's be honest, the 2 goals are very much the type of goals you don't see in the Premiership.
But they still get it, Adil. As much as we say we don't see it, but Luton are a team, they've been getting it this season. Whether you like it now, hustle and bustle, they get that opportunity, they create that opportunity, and they go and score. And one credit to Adebayo, I mean, great take and finish, showed great strength.
Yeah, I mean, Warren was all over him, literally handling him, and he still kept the composure to bring the ball down. That's a great goal, great finish. I mean, there's no knocking what Luton are achieving. I'm just saying we have to be honest that against normal teams that lumping the ball in the box, both goals are lumps in the box. One from free kick, second ball, slice, shot, second one, bringing the ball. Those things against
Ogbonamente, Adil.
Yeah, sliced it.
Top bins. He knew he was using that technique to go top bins.
Yeah, like perfect technique. But again, let's be honest. That I just don't feel, even if they're dominating teams, that's gonna break teams open enough. Yeah, they got lucky. Against Nottingham Forest, they didn't show they got the defenders who could handle that. But I just think more often than not, they'll come up against defenders who can defend against those balls in the box.
We still have to give credit to Luton Town because if you look at it, they go away at the Forest Stadium, Nottingham Forest Stadium, the City ground, away 2-0 down. They still didn't give up. They still fought in there, and they were rewarded for their bravery.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not. You asked me the question about can they stay up. I'm answering according to that. When it comes to the game, 100%, excellent comeback. They not at any point did they feel they were getting overrun. I mean, they were playing on the counter. They were playing organized. They were allowing Forest to have more of the ball and possession, and that's why the stats slightly show. But other than a Wood header, I can't remember them really splitting. I mean, the first goal is a counter attack from
Wood had 2 other chances that maybe he should have took. He could have had a hat trick earlier, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, this Luton team is improving. It's competing.
They do have some injuries. Obviously, once those 2 are back, also it gives their midfield a bit more of an oomph.
I still think for them to actually get out of the league, they do need to change the style of football when they're building up attacks. I just don't think getting the ball in the box will score you enough goals or create enough chances to get out. But everything else is showing that they can. I mean, again, if they develop their attacking play, they're in with a shout.
Well, I
Which
mean,
is more
obviously,
than anyone games on
every
the
game
pitch.
they're improving. I didn't. They will. And Rob Edwards is a fantastic manager. Obviously, he's doing it based on what he has and what the jigsaw pieces that he has. So I'm sure as the team grows and has more belief, he's going to slowly start inputting more into it. So I think that there is potential, potential scope because obviously
Definitely, he
they
definitely
have an aim. They have an aim that they're going towards.
definitely improved himself as a Premier League quality manager. I mean, this Luton team believes. They come back. They're giving it certainly away from home. They seem to be playing with a bit more freedom. I think that they really need to get that win at home, and then it's going to be a bit more exciting. Once if they get that result at home, that win at home, and make the Kenya fortress, oof, then there's a chance because they are doing well, punching
Yeah.
above the weight. I do think Newcastle deserve a mention. 4-0 again, hot streak, good goals. They're rotating the squad. I think really good comeback.
Well,
After I think they lost their first 3 games, was it?
yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, something like that.
So strong,
You
strong
know,
comeback.
sorry, I was going to come to Newcastle slightly, but what I was going to say is Luton. Obviously, they had a couple of good teams that they were playing in and around them, but the next couple of fixtures is just looks a bit ruthless because I mean they got Villa away, Liverpool at home, United away, and then Palace at home. So like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
the thing is, I think there's a really good statistical analysis report on the BBC where Chelsea have had the easiest fixtures so far, and Luton the next easiest fixture list so far, according to the stats.
Stats.
So, yeah, it's gonna get harder for Luton. I think they've done well, but I'm not worried because they seem to be competing. I mean, they competed well against Tottenham, so let's see.
That's what I was gonna say. They competed well against Tottenham, against Chelsea. I know the scoreline says 3-0. They still competed. I remember the game very clearly. And against all the big teams, they are giving it a go. It's not like they're getting blown away. If you look at remember the first game of the season against Brighton, it was towards the end that Brighton scored a lot of the goals. So for 75% of the game, they were in there.
Well, Brighton had a lot of chances, so
They were
uh,
still in there.
that was a poor finishing performance for Brighton until the individual errors kicked in and Luton put on a plate for them. So let's see. Again, you can't expect Luton to compete with the clinical nature some of the teams and players they're coming up against. I mean, yesterday was quite interesting because a lot of the times they moved. Um, um, and Panzu was playing like a third centre back a lot of the times, which was kind of different, and so they showed a lot of creativity and flexibility in the way they're playing to dominate and counter attack what opposition do. And they, like I said, we just have to be super happy they competed,
Yeah.
and they got no right
Come
to be.
on. We just need to be better than 3 teams. That's what we're doing at the moment, and long may it continue because that's all we need to do to stay up. Just be better than the 3 teams. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is uh, on that report that I was talking about earlier. Burnley and Bournemouth have had one of the hardest fixture lists out of everyone. So they have they've played a lot of the big teams, both of those teams. So
Yeah.
they've got a lot of winnable fixtures coming up, where it's teams around their level. So yeah, Luton definitely do need to pick up some points against those teams, or else they may end up in the bottom 3.
It may look very doom and gloom. Yeah, now definitely. If you look at Burnley's fixtures next, they do have a lot of fixtures at home and against teams that are around them. So yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, like you said, obviously big mention to Newcastle. We don't have time to delve into it too much. I mean, they've been blitzing teams away. I mean, if you look at the results against Sheffield and now against obviously Crystal Palace, who are a very good side defensively because Roy Hodgson sets them up very well. So yeah, I mean they're managing the European and obviously the Premier League squad very well. So and all of them are performing. If you look at like team players that are coming in, Longstaff and Jacob Murphy, they're all contributing.
Yeah, and just everyone's confident. Everyone is confident. They're solid, difficult to score against. Just yeah, a team that is showing they're here for the long term. I mean,
Yeah.
they had what a really difficult start. Who's at Liverpool?
They've played Liverpool, Man City. They've played, I think, somebody else. I can't forget.
Yeah, so their first two fixtures were difficult. I think they
They
lost.
played Brighton as well.
So I
Yeah,
think
they
yeah,
had.
they've done well to recover.
I mean, they're like you said, right? They're still in the mix. They're fifth place, 4 points off Spurs, who are sitting on 20. So they're still in and around. I mean, as long as you're in and around until January, February time, that's what you want essentially, right? Because then obviously everything kicks in. So yeah, Adu, thank you as always. I did think that Cam might join us in between. He did message me if he makes it back on time, but seems like he's not. But yeah. Thank you, Adi, for joining. And for those of you watching, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon.